The Global Perspective in Education program was offered by Immaculata in the summer of 2017. I got the placement of being at La Planicie in La Molina in Lima, Peru. So the campus I was at was really beautiful. I was placed at Villa Maria and all the surrounding areas. It was green, it was covered by mountains. It was a really beautiful campus. So while I was there, I was able to do a tutoria with the students. I worked with middle school and elementary school, and basically I taught them about emotions and ways to cope with difficult emotions. And in order to do that, we played a game, and then we also did some guided meditation, which you'll see in an upcoming picture with the students with their head on their desk. While I was there, I also met some great people, especially the people I was able to work with at Villa Maria. One of the first cultural trips we went on was to Pachamaca, and we took a mirror bus around the city, and then we were able to exit the bus and we were able to explore the sacred site of the Incan people. Since we were in Peru, we were able to see a lot of churches. They were very elaborately built, and this was to convert the Incans to the Catholic religion when the Spanish invaded Peru. We were also able to go to the stands of Miraflores, which was just a way for us to see all the art and the culture that the Peruvian people are able to make. So one of my favorite trips was to Cusco, and I think that this was one of my favorite trips because we were able to see one of the 7 wonders of the world. Our first stop was to the terraces, and this was just like a little pre-climb to where we were going the next day. So like I said before, Machu Picchu is one of the 7 wonders of the world. It was believed that it was for royal people, and it was a very sacred site. When the Spanish invaded, it was forgotten, and then it was found again in about 1911. It's made up of about 3,000 stone steps, and it's linking all the different levels of Machu Picchu together. And the stones are very precise. So being able to stand on top of Machu Picchu is really breathtaking, and I don't think that these pictures do it justice. Another place we visited in Cusco was the salt pans of Miras, and these are just geometric salt pools that are fed by a stream of salt water. And while we were here, we were able to taste the salt water, which was a really fun experience because they were very salty. So the last trip we went on was Sexay Woman in Cusco. So it's called the House of the Sun. It's another religious site. And the stones at the front of the site, they are estimated to weigh about 90 to 100 ton each. So another trip we took was to Puno, and in this trip we visited Lake Titicaca. So on the lake, the first island we stopped at was the Uros Island, and there we were really able to see the indigenous people and how they built their islands from the straw that's found in the lake, and how they built pretty much everything else out of the straw. So they're using their natural resources. Another island we went to was the Tanquil Islands. So this island's a little different. It wasn't made of straw, but it's another island that's really untouched by the outside world. So there's no computers, there's no McDonald's, and so it's really interesting to see how the people live. So one of the last trips we went on was Lugar de la Memoria, which was a museum that was showing the war that happened in Peru. So it was really interesting and sad to see these pictures and hear the stories of the war, but it was also really inspiring to see how the people came together, like through their art. Overall, this experience has been great. I've gotten to see a totally different culture from my own. I was able to see different mannerisms, different clothing, different food, and I really think that I learned the most about myself through this trip. And I'm really grateful for the Peruvian people and for the opportunity to participate.